Hi everyone, welcome to my Ninja Blaster tutorial. Hopefully this will give you a good idea of how it all works. To be honest, there's quite a lot of it I've never used, so I'm just obviously going to show you the bits that I do use on a regular basis. If you want to know more about the other options within the system, then I can certainly investigate for you and try and find out what I can. But for now, I will just take you through the 2 or 3 main options that I use on a daily basis. So, sorry, excuse me. Once you've installed Ninja Blaster, you'll either be on the free 3-day trial, or you will have purchased either a monthly or an annual license. If you then go to the Ninja Blaster website and download the software, you'll then be prompted to enter your license key. Once that's done, you are ready to go. You obviously don't need to do that for the 3-day trial, but once your 3-day trial's up, you'll need to either purchase a key or you'll obviously have to stop using it. I just do them month on month. You can buy an annual one as well. So if you use it for a month and like it, and you know you're going to use it all the time, you might as well buy the annual one. I'm probably going to do that next month, just because it's a bit cheaper to do it that way. So once you have it installed, if you, whatever version of Windows you're on, if you come to your app list, and you'll either find it in sort of your all apps listing as a blue box with a green tick, Ninja Blaster, or it might save a wee shortcut down at the bottom of your screen. You can also do that manually if you just right click wherever it is in your app list. If you right click and then click on pin to start, that will pop it down here to the bottom of your screen, so it's a bit easier to access each day. So just go ahead and open up the software, and the first screen you will face is this one. You have two options. I've never used this red option, the Pages Manager. I've only used this one, so that's what we're focusing on today, is Ninja Blaster. So we click that, and each time it just goes through that little startup loading bar. And then this is the main screen for Ninja Blaster. I believe, as is flashing here, there's a new look to this screen. I haven't investigated that yet either. I'm purely working from this original version. So the only section of this I use, it looks very confusing with all these buttons. However, the only part I focus on is this first box here in the top left. And even within that, I don't use all these options. So try and not let it bamboozle you. Pretty much ignore everything that's there except for the buttons I'm going to show you for the moment. And then once you get a bit more advanced at it, you can obviously, look at other things yourself, or we can do it together. The button down here, Activate License, that's where you'll go to enter your license code if you have actually purchased a month or an annual license. And if it's on a monthly, then you'll need to go into here every month and update your code once you get it from the website. So the three that I use most of all in this section are Photo Poster, Link Poster, and Status Poster. And they all essentially do the same thing. The only difference is the content that is going into your posts. So fairly self-explanatory. Status Poster is literally just a status with no photos, no web links or anything like that. Purely text. Link Poster is text plus a web link, and it has a separate box to put your web link in. And then Photo Poster is text plus a picture of some sort. If you want to put a link and a picture, I would use Photo Poster and then just put your link into the text rather than use Link Poster, because you can't add photos in that one. This is the only one that you can put a picture actually into. I do use the joiner on occasion. That's, as it says, it's to join you to different groups based on a keyword search. But I found that sometimes it's a bit unpredictable with the groups that it tries to add you to. They might contain the keywords that I've asked for, but they're not really relevant to the type of thing I'm trying to promote. So I now really just add groups manually. But you can use that if you want as well, and I can do a separate training on that. So we'll start with the basic one, Status Poster. So just click on it and it will open up a new screen. All the screens are very similar to this, very, very basic. So at the top, you will need to enter your username. Now this is your Facebook account username. So whatever your email and password is for Facebook, you would put that in here. Now I've got 2 accounts, so you can save more than one. You just enter each username and password and hit save. And then the next one and the password, hit save. And then you'll get them all listed here in a drop-down box. So I'm going to set this up for my Debs L account, and that's my Debs Wallbank account as opposed to my Debbie. It's my spare account because I have ended up in jail quite a number of times, not as a result of Ninja Blaster, I have to specify. There are quite a few ways to get round being blocked by Facebook, which we'll go into as we progress through this. So you pick whichever account it is you want to log into to post on your behalf. You don't actually have to have Facebook open at all. It does it all behind the scenes. How, I don't know, so don't ask me, but it's very, very clever. You can also choose to show your password if you want, just to make sure you've typed it correctly. But once it's saved, it's there forever until you remove it. So you ignore this next line altogether. Again, I've never used it. I don't know particularly what the proxy part is for, but you don't need it, so we can just ignore that. This is an important box, the delay seconds. Now, what that means is the delay of seconds in between each post of each group it's going into. So one of the things that will get you put into Facebook jail is if you post too quickly into too many groups. So I always recommend at least 4 or maybe even 5 minute gaps between group posts, and then it really shouldn't matter too much how many posts you do, but you don't want to be posting them 1 minute after each other or 10 seconds after each other, because Facebook will pick up on that and they'll think it's somebody spamming. Facebook has no way to recognise that your posts are coming through this software, by the way, so they will not know that you're using an auto poster, which is also very clever and very helpful. So what I suggest in this delay seconds is always set it to at least 300. And then depending how many groups you're posting in, it can take 1 to maybe 4 or 5 hours. But I post in up to 50, and it tends to take about 4 hours to run through the lot, allowing for this gap in between. Leave the maximum set just as a default. There's no need to really change it. It's just saying that it'll post the next one no later than 315 seconds after the first one. You can set it to have a sleep maybe halfway through if you want. Again, I just leave this to default, so it'll have a 10-minute snooze after it's done 25 posts. And then the loop is how many times you want to run through the process. Again, if you've only got 10 groups in your list, then you might want to run the whole thing twice. So you just change that to 2, and it will run it through the 10, and it'll go back to the start and run it again. But the problem with that is if it's going too quickly, then you might end up with 2 of your posts in one group right next to each other, which is also a bit of a giveaway that it's not being done manually, because you wouldn't do that if you could actually look into the group yourself. So I don't bother with the loop because I do 50 a day, and I find that's probably about the upper limit of what I would want to do. So the next part is to load in the groups. So literally click load groups, and it logs in, as you can see here, and it will tell you if it's been successful or not. If it ever says that it's failed, then give me a shout and I'll help talk you through why it might have failed. So it just takes a wee minute. Be patient with it, but it's far quicker than it actually would be to post in 50 groups manually. That's just an absolute headache, and that's something that I don't have time for, so this is an absolute blessing to me. What you can do is you can then resize these columns, and the reason I do that is you don't need to see the group ID number at all, but it's very helpful to see as much of the group name as possible. So I just make sure you've got the tick box still showing, but I shrink the middle column and make the first column as big as I can. Then what I would recommend, I've got 104 groups in this account, as you can see. My other account has over 700, so it takes a wee bit longer. But if you unselect, it will take the ticks out of all the boxes. Then you can manually go through and pick which ones you want to put your post in. And that will very much depend on what it is you want to say and post. So to get your post in there, I'm going to go to my Facebook account, and this is the one I've had a lot of success with over the last few days. So I'm just going to do the same one again, and I'm just going to copy it straight from Facebook. And no, I'm in the wrong thing now, sorry. Into Ninja, and then just highlight over the text that's there. You can either delete it or just type over it. If you right click and paste, it posts it straight in. So it's very quick to get an existing post in here. You can obviously edit that if you want. You can add more text in, you can take bits out. It's entirely up to you, or you can free type that whole field from scratch. I find it just easier to copy and paste. So that's the post that you want to do. So in this version, you'll click add at this point and it pops it down to the bottom. So you could maybe do 2 or 3 different statuses here, and then you can do them either in a random posting sequence or in sort of order sequence, if you like. So if you had 3, it would maybe start at 1, post it in a group, the next group would get the second post, and the next group would get the third post. But I've never bothered with that. I just like to post the same post, religiously through the night. So then the next step is to pick the groups that you want it to go in. So this is my shopping opportunity. So buy and sell groups tend to be quite popular for that type of post. So I'm just going to click a few purely to show you how it works. I'm not going to go through the whole process. Jobs with women looking for work or mums looking for work are also quite successful groups. So I'd encourage you to add some of them and just really build your groups up to as many as you can. I don't have many here because this is, like I say, this is my backup account. So I tend not to use it very much. But once you've picked all the groups and you've got your text in place and it's added down to the bottom screen here, you can pretty much hit start. However, I'd also recommend that you don't run it until maybe after, I would say certainly no earlier than 7 o'clock, ideally maybe 8 o'clock onwards through the night. So you'll see here there's a delayed start option. Now that delayed start is in minutes. Don't do what I did the first time round and assume this is in seconds like it is up here with the delay. It's actually minutes, so 60 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. So whatever time of day it is, it's now 5 o'clock. So I'm going to want a 3-hour delay on that. So I'm going to hit that to 180. And then you can hit start, and all it will do is start a countdown here, and then it'll get ready to post at 8 o'clock. So that's the very simple process. The other modules are exactly the same for the top section and this section on the left. The only difference is this box then either has an option to add a photograph or to add a link. So I will do those in a separate video because I'm getting close to time, but that will give you the basics. So go ahead and give it a try. Maybe just do a couple of groups for your first go and see how you like it. Like I say, the groups that you'll have may well be different to mine, but I generally add up to 10 to 15 new groups a day, just to keep a fresh list. In my other account where I've got over 700, I find it hard to keep track of which ones are actually successful or not. So for me, it's kind of potluck. Some nights I won't get any responses at all. And then like from Friday night, I've had over 400 responses. I posted 50 posts, but the responses are all from only 5 of those posts. So 45 of them have, had done nothing. So it is kind of hit and miss. And I suppose that's the downside of groups, but it's definitely worth a try. And at least this software, it's done and dusted in 10 minutes. And, once you get used to it, you'll be doing it in 5 minutes. And then that's you. It will then post it for you. You can switch off and enjoy your evening, or you can carry on and doing other parts of your business. Very, very useful, very easy to use, and yeah, I love it. Be completely lost without it now. So that's really the very basic option for you. Well, if you give that a go first, and then I'll do another video for the other options tomorrow. Okay, hope that was helpful, but if you have any questions at all, just send me a message or drop me a comment at the bottom of this post. Okay, thanks very much. Bye.